All right, I guess we're back live. Up and down like a toilet seat, but we don't mind that. Where are we at here? Pretty uneventful day, really. I mean, we had that 4 buys this morning. So we had another 4 buys this afternoon. Picked up another sale on ATO. Not looking at a huge profit on the day, but consistent nonetheless. No dividends paid again. If we look over at our total here, let's see, what was that number? 1972, so we can change that. Now that might change before the end of the day. We don't know, right? I'll show you that. I think we, oh, I want to do that. So we'll move that. So we see our profits versus our dividends, right? So you add those two together because that's your overall profit. Right? So you're looking at 1349.17 on 3 small accounts combined totals, right? So you start small. It's average just a little over 400 per account, and what's the total number? 21 days. So you can break that down if you want. Having realistic goals with your dividends is one thing, but when you're trying to make $1 million off $10,000, you tend to make bad decisions because you're taking way too much risk. We're risk averse. We don't take any losses, not on purpose. We have taken losses in the past, but it's not for the reasons that most people take losses. So you can learn more about that just by following us. There's no secrets here. We like to have that constant stream of income coming in and just continue to grow, grow the accounts. Once these accounts get close to 100, what we do is we stop making buys and we just sell out. Unless it's a DCA, we won't initiate any new positions, and we'll actually take some of the cash out of the account and change it over into, either deposit it in another account, start another portfolio, whatever. But what we're trying to show people is that, you can grow these accounts. Even if they're small. And it seems like it takes forever, but that's because you're impatient. If you don't understand patience, you need to learn it. Once you learn it, it's amazing how much that you can make. Where is my coffee at? Well, I'll put my coffee down somewhere. I gotta figure out where I put it. Anyways, let's go down through a few. Just the 2 sales so far today. There's not a heck of a lot to talk about. So this is what you do. You come in, you look at your portfolio. You're like, okay, what did I have? Did I sell anything? Not on this account, right? Because you're looking at today, 8:30 in the morning. You had 5 buys on this account. You just make sure that, say IDCC. Did you go in there and look at it and say, make sure that your account, 4 shares, right? And you can look at a chart if you want. You don't have to. As long as you're resetting your sell limit. If you leave it up high above here on the old information, that's not our mode of operation. We're not looking to bring it up here. What we're trying to do is hit the dividend amount. So that's what you want to pay attention to. So that one's set. What was the other one? These are buys today. So we had SJM, which is Smuckers. Exit that. There it is. All right, so you can see that's a new position because of the structure, right? It's moving up. That's fine. We have no idea where it's going. Go back over, take a look. LNC. LNC should be a new position. Yep. See, it came down. More than likely a trailing buy that we had in there. Comes back up, hits it. Okay. Next one. So we know we're doing the right thing because our charts all are very similar looking, right? Once you have a plan, you stick to it. If it's making you money, you don't change it. Okay. Now I left this 50%. You know, and this is the original buy. This was the second buy. This is a CEF. So our third buy would be down here. So what we do is we like to be alerted in case it comes down, right? And this one doesn't move that much, but we already picked up our 50%, so you see our average moved. So now we have to change, right, our target price. So I left this one up here so we can look at it. So now it's 36, well, let's get this off of here, 36.21, right? And I think I already changed this, but let's see, 36.21, right? And we're targeting the dividend amount, 205, plus the 10 cents, right? So 38.40, and that's probably what we got. Oh, see, 38.40, correct? Okay, and we have 10 shares now, so we need to change this to 10. We're just doubling what we're our target. Instead of making $10.10 or in 50 cents, we're making $20.50. You're just doubling it. It's pretty simple math. If you keep it simple, you won't sit there and say, well, I'd really like to get this amount. So now you see how the chart changes, right? Your target is below, so you know you've DCA'd it. We can take this off of here now. We don't need it anymore. We already have this telling us. So once you get used to seeing this, you know that you've already bought twice. You can also figure it out by looking at the max shares. If it's 50, 10% of that would be 5. You have 10, so you've bought it twice. Simple math. Don't make it so confusing that you're blowing your mind. There's no secret here. There's no special whatever. We're trying to make this as simple as possible so you can concentrate on doing something else other than standing in front of your computer all day watching price movement. It's a waste of your time. Do something constructive. All right, so let's go over. Oh, we had one left on there. What was that? Yum. That's your Taco Bells and God, what's the other one? Okay, so that's a new position, right? So you get 107.39 or 107.83, right? 107.83, and we add $2 plus 50 cents for the commission. If you're not paying commission, you don't add that extra money. So 110.35. So we close the whole entire position, right, at 110.35. And we should make that dividend amount. We're trying to hit that before the end of the year. Because the size of the portfolio is only, which one is this? Damn, 70,000, right? We're using a very small percentage. So let's go back and look. Now we're going to do our 50%. This tool just helps us find this without having to use a calculator. It's just faster. You just got to remove these lines because we're not using it the way your technical analysis experts use it. They'd probably slap me for using it the way I'm using it. But either way, it's just a faster way to find that 50% pullback. We're working in a 6-month window. Stick with the rules and you'll be successful. If you don't stick with the rules, you'll be asking questions, why isn't this working? And the first thing I'm going to ask you, are you sticking to the rules? So, if you can tell me if this is going to hit this target price, I say I have no idea, and that's what you want to tell everybody. I have no idea where the market's going. Stick to your rules. Stick to the plan. Don't get FOMO. Don't sit there and say, oh, I don't think it's going any higher, or I think it's going to drop like a rock, or whatever. Just leave it alone. Let the dividends roll in and concentrate on other things. You should only be looking at this once a day. You don't have to sit in front of these charts all day long. Some people love it. I don't. I'm not going to waste any more time than I have to look over the portfolios to decide which direction I'm going with my portfolio. I take the scan, I do the rules, I take profit, I put in orders. That's all I do. I manage the portfolios. I don't listen to the news. I don't listen to the experts, the Jim Cramers of the world. You know, like I think he was saying something this morning, came across on some news feed, you buy Walmart, buy Cisco. It's like, what does he know? He doesn't know anything. Nobody knows anything. You just concentrate on the rules and it'll come to you. We don't take losses because we stick with it. All right, this portfolio, let's go over to Mosaic. It's a little easier to look through what's actually moving. You don't have to have a portfolio or a platform like this. This is like the high-end pro version from Interactive Brokers. If you're working during the day, you just, anything like E-Trade, TD Ameritrade, anything that has free commissions on equities. Everything else they charge you for. You know, options, futures, and stuff like that. We don't trade any derivatives here. It's a losing proposition. That's something you have to sit in front of the computer and you have to monitor it because it's very risky. Let's just put it that way. Keep it simple. Remember, CEFs are going to make up a large percentage of your portfolio. And because they pay monthly, you're getting more occurrences quicker. That money's coming in faster. You can reinvest that money quicker. You got all these little pullbacks. They all look very similar, don't they? And then you have these ones that are going against what the market's doing. If you pay attention to the Dow, it'll hurt you in your decision making. That's why we use rules. We don't pay attention to what the market's doing. You can look at it and say, "Oh, okay, let's look over here and see what it says." See, the ES is 22. That's a little positive, but the NASDAQ is flat. 5 points, that's flat. I mean, there ain't nothing going on there, and it's Thursday, so what Friday brings, we have no idea. All we're interested in is the amount of dividends that are coming in. I think we only have 3 ex-dividends tomorrow. FITBI, GSBC, and INDB. Now that's just what we have in these portfolios. Now you can go to like dividends.com or something and it'll give you a whole list of dividend paying stocks that are paying tomorrow. And there's a bunch of them. Some platforms will give you all that information, but we don't target, that's not our philosophy to try and hit just dividend paying stocks because you'll max out your portfolio very quickly. We're looking for the winners. We have specific guidelines that we follow to get in initiating positions. And we have a scan that helps us out with that each week. So with 15 minutes to go, you're either going to be flat, or it's going to go up, or it's going to go down. That's what I'm talking about. Do not guess which way it's going. Just let it happen. You look over these to make sure that you have the correct orders in and you manage the portfolios, because you can miss an order. You might have been on the phone or something and that sucker's climbing and it goes up and it comes back down and you didn't have that order in, and it's 2 days later and you're like, I didn't look at it and I missed that occurrence. You missed that dividend payment. You missed your rent. Your renter was ready to pay you and you weren't there to collect. So you just get that order in once a day. That's all you got to do is look at this. You're not going to have anywhere near these amount of stocks in your portfolio starting off, but eventually you get there. Now this is a pretty, it's a decent size account, but you'll notice that there's very low shares per stock. You don't want to be hammering on one stock. It's too risky. You don't know which direction it's going. Some of these you probably never heard of before, and neither have I. I don't care what they make, as long as they're paying dividends. It means it's a positive for the company. Who knows? Next week they might be, in a lawsuit. Well, if I only have 1 or 2 shares of it, I don't really care, right? It's not going to hurt me. I continue to collect those dividends. Just because they're in a lawsuit doesn't mean they stop paying dividends. Now, what was that that we had for a while? Boeing, BA. And I remember they stopped paying dividends and we were stuck with 4 shares. And this is a $300 stock. So we had to wait almost 6 months and it still wasn't paying dividends, but it came back up for whatever reason. And we were able to get out with our profit of the old dividend amount, because that's our rule. It just happens that way. Stick to the rule. Now that one doesn't have any limits on it. It's because it's a warrant. This is a particular transaction that happened as a corporate action where Occidental Petroleum, I don't know exactly what happened there, but they issued warrants instead of dividend payments. So you end up with these warrants. I guess they were $7, and whatever amount of shares you had, they matched it. So it's kind of a lottery ticket. We just let it go because it doesn't pay any dividends or whatever. If it goes up to $60, whatever, we just leave it there because the date on it is August 3rd, 2027. So that's 5-6 years away. Let's see what happens. It's a lottery ticket. Who cares? It's free money. Let it happen. If you're in these positions and you have stock in any of these companies, you'll see interesting things happen that aren't reported on, news channels, financial channels, anything. You just, oh, well, they paid an extra dividend in December, and sometimes they're pretty substantial. It might be 3 years worth of dividends. You never know. But you can go back and look at their cycles and see how much they're paying. That one just hanging out below there, isn't it? I have no idea if it's going to run up there. It's got to go what? 7 cents? Yeah, great. If it happens, it happens. Otherwise, we collect the dividend. We don't get FOMO, say, oh, we got to get out. And I may be going a little fast, but you'll get quicker at it, and you get to be able to see the setup and know what you're looking for. You don't have to do what I'm doing. All you have to do is look at your portfolio. Did I buy something or did I sell something? Because if you have a good platform, E-Trade or any of these others that are out there, they basically send you an email when it happens, or set it up that way. Some kind of alert. You check it, log in. If you bought something, you know what you're targeting. You put your order in and you sell it. It's pretty simple stuff. All right, so let's go over to this other portfolio. See what the AGNC. Well, it's trying to get there. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. This one we just picked up. ANAT, American National Group. Sounds like a insurance company to me. What do we got? BOH. No idea what they are. Bank of Hawaii. What I'm looking for is something that's moved a lot, you know, to see, am I close? It just gives you a better feel for the market. I mean, if it's 1 cent, I don't care, you know. But when you start seeing $1, it's like, okay, so what's going on there? Let's take a look. Yeah, it looks like it's trying to recover. This one we picked up today. Okay, not really doing anything. Lico Met PFG 196. Oop. That's not a chart. PNW. Excuse me. Everybody's looking for that magic bullet, you know. How can I make money really quick? Because there's so many people out there telling you that you can make $1 million, you know, in 1 day or something on the stock market. And I'm sure it's happened somewhere, sometime, some year, someplace, probably by accident. You know, like put on an order and then the power went out and they woke up the next morning and their power's back on. They look at their account and they're up $1 million because they did something crazy and didn't realize what they did, and it was just a fluke. You know, but they'll tell everybody that they're a genius, you know. It's usually the way that happens. It's a lot of pressure when you're under, when you know how much you can lose. If you're not willing to take a loss, guess what? The pressure's gone. Yep, what was that one? DMO. I'm not trying to will these, you know, you sit there and say, come on, go higher, go higher. No, I don't sit there and think about it that way. I just look, say, okay, there we go. We're done. Go on to the next thing, you know, just keep looking. I'm not going to sit there and tell you, yeah, buy this. Or, hey, take a look at this one. This one looks like it's doing really well. To be disingenuous. I have no clue. You can use all the tools you want, and you got a 50-50 chance of being right. But to put all the tools on there, that should give you the direction, right? It's all based on what happened in the past. It doesn't matter. That's why they just read the disclaimers. Future, how do they say that? Past results are not indicative of future results. It's okay, but everybody just like, okay. I mean, they're telling you, don't pay attention to what happened in the past. If you, you know, if you want to look at that stuff, that's fine. It's on you. They're warning you. That's why people like, oh, I know where it's going. You do, dude. If you did, you'd be a multi-billionaire if you knew the direction. If you could consistently call direction, you'd be a billionaire. You'd be a Warren Buffett. But Warren Buffett didn't get there by guessing. He bought dividend paying stocks. He started with $1,000 and invested $100,000 of other people's money. And what, 60 years? He's a multi-billion-dollar investor. So whatever your time horizon is, know that it's possible if you stick to your rules. He does. And his number one rule, and our rule is at DCT, do not take losses. You need to think about that. So it'll be interesting to see what's going to happen tomorrow. Now remember, we're working off of weekly charts here. We're not working off of, and this is for reference. We don't care what happened in the past. We use this as an anchor. That's about it. So we can say, okay, this is where we'll buy again if it happens. That means this thing could float around above this price for the next 20 years and never hit this price. And the only thing that we get out of it is dividends at that point. Make sense? But yeah, we're coming down to the last 3 minutes. Pretty uneventful close. I think everybody's about wore out with all the back and forth today. I didn't have a lot of time to look at. Got too many things going on. But I will not be on tomorrow. I'll be on the road going back to Georgia. And but I will put out the scan on Sunday to all of those that want it. Just email me. If you're a new subscriber, just give me your name. I'll send you a free scan. But I have to have an email. I can't, people subscribe and say, well, I didn't get my free scan. I'm like, did you send me an email? No. Well, I mean, it's right there in the description every day. So I can't be responsible if you don't read. Be nice to close some of these up, but I want the full amount. I don't want partial. I'm willing to keep on getting dividends. Now, where was that LMT? There it is. Yeah, that sucker's just back and forth. It's like we've had it for, well, we had it back here, obviously. So we had to wait for it to come back at, what was that time frame? 12. So basically 4 months. But we're not going to lose anything, are we? Now, if you had buku bucks, we're almost at the. Are we at the max on that? Well, we had one more. We could have bought one more to be at the max shares. I guess I didn't transmit this, huh? It's in there now. Weird. Sometimes I miss the stuff when I get to talking. WED and WBS. Yeah, we got a lot of buys today, that's for sure. But that's the end of the day. And see, Travelers Insurance, what's that one looking like? About halfway there. Need to go another half, another $1.50 or so. It's only 2.2%. But all those percentages, you just add them all up, and they all pay you eventually. you're getting it one way or the other. You're either going to get the full year's dividend in a day, a week, a month, 6 months, or a year, or you just wait and you get it every quarter, and that's what you'll make per year. It's a pretty sweet deal. So, but if you can't, if you don't have any patience, you're going to get real frustrated. So you need to read some books on patience and understand your time horizon. You know, if you're young, you can be a multi-millionaire off this strategy if you manage it correctly and don't buy stupid stuff. You know, let your money grow. Then you can buy whatever you want. Just remember to pay your taxes. Number of occurrences, that's the name of the game. So we didn't have a ton of occurrences, but another 8, 9, 10 occurrences today. 2 buys and 2 sells and 8 longs. So that's 10 occurrences. And then we had, I don't know how many dividends actually paid today or went ex-dividend. Doesn't matter. Anyways, yeah, like I say, we'll not be on here tomorrow. So just let me know if you need a scan. The scans will come out on Sunday. If it's too late, you know, I will send a scan up until the open on Monday. But after that, you know, it doesn't make any sense because you're too late. Just remember they come out on Sundays, you know, but I should make it where, you know, if you don't have your email in by Sunday, because you need time to look at it, make decisions on your strategies that you want to use. You know, if you need help with that, just ask me. I won't point you in any particular direction. I'll give you some options and the ideas that I use. I use combinations. I do a lot of trailing stops, trailing buys. You know, it's just everybody has their own way of doing things, but the whole idea is money management, and that's what we're here to help people with. But all right, have a good weekend, and I'll be back live Monday, and it'll be kind of hit and miss through next week. I have a lot of appointments, a lot of personal stuff I got to get taken care of. But other than that, have a great weekend.